Alright, I'm gonna be playing a coup. I'll update Twitch in a while. Okay, Google Play. Listen, I don't have time for your crap. I gotta beat a coup. Yeah, I know Twitch, I'm live. Don't give me that notification again, especially when I'm already on the stream information. Pretty sure I know when I'm live. Mobile live dashboard. Besides, when you click the mobile live dashboard notification, it brings you to the dashboard, but for some reason, if you go to the dashboard from the notification, the chat just doesn't connect, so the notification is useless. Yesterday I got 85 and I got pretty mad, especially since I just logged in like 900 attempts. Probably way more than probably a bit less than 900, maybe 700, because I probably already had like 200 attempts logged in from practice runs. Especially my first practice run. I wouldn't be surprised if my first practice run takes up like 100 attempts or more. I mean, my first practice run, I didn't even get to the drop. I kind of like did the pre-drop and and I just gave up because it's like, no way, this is a starter extreme. No! God. That's pretty much how the stream is gonna go. I'm gonna die in the pre-drop like 20 times, and then I'm gonna get to the drop and die at a stupid spot, like a choke like this stupid wave part, and then rinse and repeat until I eventually beat it. This happens to be exactly how it went. Sucks. This entire pre-drop is boring and annoying. Like, I just hate timings. If it weren't for the general consensus of the community, I'd probably consider this harder than Cataclysm, until I realized that my skill set is just trash. Back when Plasma Pulse Finale was the hardest and I didn't know what the demon list was, I thought that the hardest demon in the game was Black Blizzard. No, I thought it was Conical Depression. I thought the Conical Depression was the hardest in the game because I couldn't get past the first few clicks, when I think Conical Depression was like a top 30 at the time. My god. Conical Depression a top 30? I feel old just from saying that. I feel old just from saying I remember when Conical Depression was a top 30. Oh god, that click! Hardest click of the level. Because it used to be like a top 30 or 40 or whatever back when I first discovered the list. I think when I discovered the list, Sonic Wave was the hardest. And then PPF came out, and I don't think I ever saw the list when PPF was hardest. I kind of like looked at the list once, and I was like, oh cool, Sonic Wave. I didn't know Sonic Wave was the hardest. I thought it was Black Blizzard, because after playing Black Blizzard and seeing the just the first like row of 2 blue orbs, I just instantly thought it was the hardest level in the game. And then yeah, I discovered the list and I'm like, oh, I didn't know Black Blizzard was that far down. I thought it was gonna be like really hard. Sonic Wave was the hardest at the time, still. And then I think Erebus was number 2, and Yada was number 3. This was like the era of the RGB, back when I first checked the list. It still had like the old disgusting blue and yellow UI, or whatever the UI was. It was blue, oh I know that. And then, I don't think I ever checked the list during the small time that PPF was number 1. PPF was number 1 for a very short amount of time, that's all I know. And then Bloodlust was verified, and I was like, oh, better check the list. Pretty sure this is a new hardest, and lo and behold, Bloodlust was the new top 1. And this was starting to be the era when the list was like Bloodlust, PPF, and Gamma, and then like Sonic Wave. Or Spatial Rend, I forgot which one. I think it was, yeah, I think Sonic Wave was like number 5, eventually. I remember that. That's like the last thing I remember before stopping for like a half a year. Yeah, I quit. I didn't exactly. I just kind of lost interest in the game and was like, maybe I'll come back one day and beat an extreme demon. Or, well, my hardest was a medium demon at the time. I did it on like a e-reader tablet. And I was like, I was like, maybe I'll beat a hard demon or insane or even eventually extreme when I come back. Sort of like, because I like took a 6-month hiatus from the game. And within those 6 months happened to be the summer of 2019 when Zodiac was verified. Or, well, hack verified, but then Tech beat it. The thing that got me back into Geometry Dash was probably Keynote's verification. Because I was a big PewDiePie viewer back then. And then I saw Nepesta on his meme review. I was like, hey, wait, that's Geometry Dash. I didn't ever think GD would be like that. I was like, Keynote's, never heard of that level. Is that a new hardest? That's when I looked at the list for the first time in, like, ever. It was, like, early 2020. And, I think Tartarus was the hardest at the time, and it still is the hardest, but, you know, it had that short period where it was number 2 below the Golden. I still think the Golden is harder than Tartarus. Yeah, I think when I came back to the game, the list was like, it was like Tartarus, Zodiac, and Kinos were the top 3. Of course, Kinos is still in the top 5, but it's like fallen 1 spot since then. Because the Golden was a thing. I've been recommended this level countless times for a first extreme, and I was like, no. And then I was like, no ICDX, no Cataclysm, I suck at Chip. And everyone was like, oh, do Aku, do Thanatophobia. And I played them both in practice, and I was like, holy crap, I'm never beating these for a long time. Because I was, like, totally against ICDX and Cataclysm, because I just could not get good at the ship. And then one day I was like, you know what would be funny if I beat ICDX? And I started practicing the level, and I think it took like 3 days to beat. Actually, I actually tried to beat Cataclysm back when I was on 60 Hertz, believe it or not. That's sort of like an interesting thing to say. But Cataclysm was like something I really wanted to do for like the funny. Because I was on 60 Hertz, but I did play with 240 FPS bypass. Which honestly didn't make much of a difference besides input delay. It barely made me better at the ship. Because it was still FPS bypass. It was a bypass on a native 60 Hz monitor instead of, like, 144 FPS on a 144 Hz monitor is a lot better than 240 FPS on a 60 Hz monitor for this game. That's all I can say. But, I think when I tried to beat Cataclysm, my hardest was Deadly Clubstep. I was like, you know what would be funny? If I, like, jumped from Deadly Clubstep to Cataclysm, like, without beating any insane demons, and that obviously didn't go very well at all. I did play the level on 240 FPS bypass for a while, and then I went down to 180 FPS, because 180 was, like, my sweet spot for bypass. I think it wasn't, like, new kata I was practicing. I was doing old kata because I could not do the last ship section for the life of me on new kata. So I settled with old Cataclysm, and I think I got, like, 43% on 60 Hertz, which is honestly pretty cool. I think it was I died to a bug in the transition from the UFO to the ship at, like, 43. And then I played the level a bit more, and I kind of gave up. And then I eventually got a 144 Hz monitor and beat an insane demon. I think Necropolis, which actually is like a high-end insane demon. And I kind of just beat it for my first insane because I wanted to. Deadly Clubstep and Necropolis were kind of like 2 levels that I'd always wanted to beat. Like, my whole time, ever since I discovered them. I don't know why, but like, back when I was a lot younger, I just had just this weird fascination with how the memory gameplay was done in them. Because the levels did memory without, like, fake walls or any of that. Instead, they had, like, fake ground spikes, like in Necropolis, or there was the, a trait of both levels, but mostly Deadly Clubstep. There were the spikes that had invisible blocks on them, where you could, like, go on top of the spikes and kind of just float above them. I was like, how did he do that? The alpha trigger didn't even exist. It was, like, the coolest thing to me. I don't know why. Yeah, and then after beating Necropolis, I kind of didn't know where to go, because I was like, hey, I beat an insane demon, what do I do next? And then I beat Stalemate. I just kind of decided, hey, let's do Stalemate, and I beat it in 200 attempts. It was so stupid. Honestly, I got really lucky. Stalemate was, like, the part of my GD career when I started having the lucky streak. Like, and then literally the day after I beat Stalemate, I think I beat Windy Landscape. So I was really on, like, a on a roll. After beating Windy Landscape, I kind of took a short break. Not for anything crazy difficult in particular to prepare for anything. I thought, you know what? After beating Windy Landscape, I was like, hey, let's beat Future Funk 2, because I'd done a few no-clip runs on Future Funk 2, and it seemed like a really fun level. And then I kind of gave up on Future Funk 2 after getting 99, because I kept dying in the last duel. I couldn't get past it anymore. Not that I didn't know how to do the duel. I knew how to do it, but I just could not get consistent at it. And then I kind of was like, what do I do next? I don't know any good Insanes to do next. And I beat, I was like, whoa, Crazy 2's kind of cool. Beat that in 1 day. Actually, no, it took 2 days. 1 day of practice and 1 day of actually playing from zero. I know there's another insane demon I beat. Pretty sure there was. Can't put my finger on it, though. Hold on, let me check my personal demon list. Oh, yeah, that's right. I beat Psychosis in between Necropolis and Stalemate. I forgot about that. Oh yeah, Rupture. I beat Rupture. Kind of had this weird promise where it was like, once I beat Rupture, I have to beat an extreme demon. I'm gonna force myself to do it. And I kind of forgot about that while playing the level, and then I fluked the level from, like, what, 55? That was funny. That was, like, the funniest thing. Just, like, fluking that far. And then my friend reminded me, well, now you have to beat an extreme demon. I was so worried. I didn't know what to do. And I was like, you know what? I'll be super basic. I'll just do ICDX. ICDX is easy, I've heard. And I had also heard, and I definitely agree with the fact that ICDX is way easier on 144 Hz. Like, I'm not gonna say it's free because there are still stupid parts, but it's definitely a lot easier on 144. And I played the level for like 3 days, I think, and fluked it from 69, just out of sheer luck. After beating ICDX, I didn't want to just go straight for another extreme, because obviously ICDX was the hardest thing I'd done. And then, hold on, back to personal demon list, because I'm not that smart. Oh yeah, I beat Lightwave for the funny. It really sucked. I had no fun at all with it. And then I beat Magma Bound, because I heard Magma Bound was real fun. So I did it. Then I was like, hey, time for another extreme demon. So I was like, okay, Cataclysm. And then I beat it. Because I had, like, as I mentioned before, I kind of played the level a lot back on 60 Hertz. So I had a lot of knowledge about the level, and was very practiced, and I beat it in, like, 400 attempts. And not old Kata, but new Kata, so that just kind of brings me to today. Kind of a good old history of, like, me playing GD from, like, 2018 to now. I did start the game in 2017, but nothing particularly interesting happened in that time. I was kind of really stupid, and I made stupid bad levels, and I beat, like, 20 demons, and then the only, like, knowledge that I had of the game was through, like, word of mouth with my friends, because nobody knew that there was, like, a GD community. None of us knew there was a Geometry Dash community. There was, like, a community behind Geometry Dash. I mean, we were all, like, 11-year-olds, so of course we didn't know. You kind of played the game for fun. And then I eventually discovered some sort of GD community that's kind of, like, buried. That was after, like, digging on the internet for a little bit, and you don't need to dig that deep to find the GD community nowadays, and I don't think you had to back then either. I just kind of, it was difficult for me. And then that's when I got into Discord, and I wasn't even TOS, but I didn't care because I didn't tell anyone my age anyways. And I think the first message I ever sent on Discord was me, was the most based thing ever that I still agree with to this day. Was me sending a message in Nobleboy's Discord server, and the message just said, does anybody else really hate Ryan LC's part in the Hell Factory? And that was the most based thing ever. And I still agree with that to this day, that it sucks. It was hilarious. Obviously, no one paid attention to my message because everyone was having an actual conversation. What happened? How small of a microclick do you have to make in order to just not jump there? I was kind of like letting go of my mouse so that I could prepare the buffer click for that dash. I think I was on Dorami's Discord for a while as well. And then that's when I took my break. And I'm not going to repeat everything I said, because I kind of already said that, and I'm probably going to compile this all into a video because, you know, there's a lot of stuff that I just said, and I don't want everything to just kind of go to waste. So I'll probably make a highlights video. It'll be a pretty short highlights video of this level. But hey, a highlights video. It's gonna get like 8 views. All my videos either get anywhere from 3 to 8 views, depending on how lucky I get. I used to have this lucky streak where I was getting like 100 views, where I just kind of like uploaded a random video and it would get like 50 to 100 views. It was dumb, but I'm not gonna get that kind of luck anymore because YouTube. I hate the YouTube algorithm. I upload nothing but the same type of content, and some just gets more views than the others. Like the videos that, and the problem is, the videos that get a ton of views aren't even the videos that I want to get a ton of views on. Like just random like progress videos. Like ICDX 65% is one of my most viewed videos. It's just ICDX 65%. And the moment I commented on the video to try and redirect people to the actual completion, the video stopped getting views, magically. It's like YouTube specifically designed to screw me over. Like, none of my actual major completions, like ICDX or Cataclysm, are, like, they, like, have any views. Like, my ICDX completion has, like, less than 20 views, and my Cataclysm video has, like, less than 10. I'm gonna try and play the level now. Chokes. Nothing but choke points. Like, the only places I've ever died in the drop are chokes. I'm gonna, in the description for my completion video of this, if I ever somehow beat this with my incredibly terrible luck, if I ever somehow beat this, I'm gonna put, like, every choke point that I've encountered in the description, and there's gonna be a lot. If you took any of the clicks from the pre-drop and put them in the drop, it would be a choke. I'm gonna make a meme. I'm gonna make a meme. It's gonna be a super hilarious meme. This is gonna be so hilarious, trust me. This is hilarious, trust me. This is gonna be funny. Trust me, this is hilarious. Yes! There we go. Look at that. Isn't that not hilarious? That's so funny. That's my first far of the stream, and it sucked. It sucked, because I died in the suck wave. Now watch as I proceed to spend another 500 attempts trying to get there, and to die at 70 again, because that wave sucks. Why is that spike there? Nobody asked for that spike. Yes! Yes! Screw you! Let's go! Oh! I hate you. That was so I got so just, like, that took way too long. Way longer than it needed to. Alright, man, I'm dead.